Alright, hey, what's up, Internet? My name is Matt, and this is the year of the kilt. It's 2015, and I'm wearing the kilt every day of the year just because. And I had an install for work the other day, which required me to wear pants all day long, and so I didn't get to wear a kilt until I got into bed, and it's sort of kind of cheating. But when it's work related, I'm going to let it slide because sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. Now, most days at work, I do get to wear the kilt while I'm at work, just not the days where I'm like on a ladder or whatever, doing installs for clients, because for some reason you get a man in your house like doing an installation of like artwork and you want to see him in pants. And if you put him in a kilt, it's somehow different and weird enough that it might make people weird about it or something. But today's topic is going to be about wearing the kilt to work, because I've worked in a couple of places where I have been allowed to wear the kilt and a couple of places where I haven't. And right now I work at a company called the Framing Department, if you can read that. And we do picture framing and black and white printing, and it's like a really chill, mellow atmosphere, and I get to wear the kilt to work every day. And it's become a thing where customers expect it now. Like, when I first started working there, it was kind of on and off, and it was like, okay, that's cool. Once in a while he's in a kilt. And now they expect it. And they saw me, a customer would walk in and see me in pants and be like, oh my God, what's wrong? What's going on? Why aren't you in a kilt? And it's something that, especially when I really dress it up and get the good sporn and the vest and the hat and everything, it's something that kind of brightens their day because it's different, and maybe it's a little weird, but it's something that I get smiles out of. And so the clients, whether men or women, they're like, hey, nice kilt, glad you wore that kilt, oh, I like that tartan, whatever. And it becomes a conversation topic and something to just bond with the clients about, which is kind of cool. I've also worked in like really lame workplaces where it's like slacks and a button-down shirt and whatever, and I would get to wear the kilt on like, after work occasions when the whole crew goes out, and the staff would see me in the kilt. And that was kind of cool because it was like at some point you have to bond with people and understand, people at your work, what they wear like in real life when they're not just at work. And during Halloween and stuff like that, you can pretty much get away with whatever you want as long as it's appropriate, whatever that means. And so even in like the stuffy sort of weird workplaces, when I would occasionally show up after work in a kilt or whatever, it's just like people didn't really care. It didn't fit the dress code, so I couldn't wear it to work all day. But at the same time, it wasn't a big deal, and you don't get any derisive comments or any of that from your coworkers any more or less than you would from regular people out in the real world. So you see these people on the forums, like there's X marks the Scot or whatever, and it's like, oh, I can't wear my kilt to work, blah blah blah. It's like some of them don't even bother asking, because you don't, the people you work with, you spend more time with them sometimes than even your family. And so it's like, why wouldn't you want to be comfortable and be in your kilt and be who you are and wear what you want to wear? Why wouldn't you at least try? And so I know some people try, and some people don't even bother, but it's like, to me, wearing the kilt to work was like this life goal. And I was like, after I quit my last stuffy shitty job, I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna find a job that lets me wear a kilt to work. And that was part of the criteria for getting the new job. I got to make X amount of money, I got to be able to wear a kilt to work, and I got to be able to show my tattoos or whatever it is. And so this job at the framing department allows me to do that, and it's a really cool company, and that's cool for me. But for the rest of you out there, kilt wearing fiends, I'm curious to hear from you what wearing a kilt to work is like. What kind of environments do you work in that allow it, or that don't allow it, or that the stigma maybe of the kilt is the thing that prevents you from wearing the kilt to work? I'm just curious to hear what your experiences have been like with work-related kilt wear. I want to shift gears too. We talked, not last week because I took the week off because it's my YouTube channel and I do what I want, but the week before, about like cheap kilts that are getting made somewhere else other than Scotland, but then being sold by Scottish companies as a low-budget alternative. And somebody educated me a little bit through a comment, so thanks to the person who did that. You know who you are. And I did some research and found that there's, you know, an NPR article and stuff, and all these kilts are made in Pakistan by this like city that just specializes in Scottish exports, whether that's kilts that are made out of non-wool fabric, whether it's bagpipes, whether it's sporrans, skeen-doos, whatever. And I thought that was really interesting, and I spent some time thinking about it. Like, to some people, the kilt's all about the wool, the hardcore Scottish everything all the way, and obviously I'm not Scottish or of Scottish descent, so that doesn't matter to me at all. I kind of came to the conclusion that as long as the kilt lasts and is comfortable and looks like a kilt, I don't really care about where it came from or all of the shenanigans that go along with that. The problem I'm experiencing with these Pakistani kilts is once you wash them, not even like a hardcore wash, like a delicate wash in the washer, and then an air dry, I'm getting these like fraying shenanigans on the leather straps, which, one, I don't think it's real leather, and two, that shouldn't happen, and that doesn't count as lasting to me. I want a product to last, like my Workman's Utilikilt that I've had since 2007 or 2008, and it's still trucking. It's granted, it's got some holes and stuff in it, but it's earned those, you know. But these Pakistani kilts, you wear it once or twice and wash it, and then it gets all screwed up. But I'm not going to hand wash them because I don't care that much. So what I may end up doing with these cheap kilts is keep buying them and then install my own leather on them. Something like a nice leather buckle, like off of a, you know, maybe a leather jacket or something that I get from a thrift store, and install those and see if I can get matching buckles or whatever. But that's kind of my temporary solution to that. I wouldn't say it's a problem necessarily because it's a cheap kilt. It's like $45 plus shipping. Although what I would like to do is find someone who can import them to the States. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone does. So that we don't have to pay shipping from Scotland to the States, which is like psychotic. It's the cost of the kilt again in shipping, plus the customs fee that comes at you later. So why don't we just import them directly from Pakistan here and get somebody in the States to sell them? So if you know anybody in the States who's selling these kind of Pakistani made kilts, $50, you know, whatever, it's acrylic wool blend or mostly just acrylic, whatever, I'd be interested in hearing about that. Somebody who sells them local that I don't have to pay the damn taxes and import fees and shipping. What else is kilt related that I want to talk about? Can't really think about anything, so we're probably going to call that good. I haven't been listening to any, like, you know, kilt related music or watching any kilt related movies recently. I did watch a bunch of Ewan McGregor movies because I love Ewan McGregor, and he did, of course, you know, all kinds of crazy things, and he does wear a kilt in real life, and you know, occasionally because he's a Scot. But I don't think that really counts, and the movies that I watched really weren't that good. So not only did they not feature kilts, but they didn't make a good, like, impression or whatever of Ewan McGregor, who I think is a talented actor who just chooses shitty movies to work on a lot. Oh well. So hopefully I can be better about the kilt-related movies / music / cultural things. I've just been focusing on other parts of my life. And so, well, maybe we'll call that a week. I actually got a video done, and it's actually Thursday, which is the day I like to upload videos. So, good for me for doing one on time, for a change. I think that's probably it. Oh, today I'm in my Utilikilt. Let me make sure I'm not... That's the Utilikilt survival model that I've got, because I like to show you guys what I'm wearing, because I'm a narcissist or something. And tomorrow's Fancy Friday, so I'll be wearing a kilt, some Fancy Friday kilted shenanigans. And I think we're done. So, thanks for hanging out, playing along. My name is Matt. This is the Year of the Kilt, and I'll see you guys next week.